My name is Jennifer Brunei, and I'm presenting to you the book 11/22/63 by Stephen King. Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, and John Lennon, all of these individuals were infamous revolutionary icons in which we can all agree were taken from this earth much too early. If only we had the opportunity to make the world a better tomorrow and prevent these unjustified deaths. But what if we did? My novel 11/22/63 by Stephen King explores this idea with the concept of time travel and the attempt to evade President John F. Kennedy from assassination. The protagonist, Jake Epping, is offered the privilege of this mission when Al Templeton, longtime acquaintance, confides to him that there's a time portal located in the pantry of his diner, and as his dying wish, he urges Jake to go back in time and save JFK. King's masterpiece has something to offer to every kind of reader. Like most of his other books, this too is a psychological thriller, engaging horror enthusiasts. It would also appeal to sci-fi geeks, with the main focus being on time travel and spy games. Even the hopelessly romantic would be enticed by the passionate love story between Jake and Sadie, his 1960s sweetheart. The history buffs will also be well served, as the story is based on true events and is historically accurate. The novel cleverly incorporates a history lesson amidst its never-ending drama. What would otherwise be a dull history lesson for most about the Cold War, the author does an impeccable job at exposing it from the insider's perspective and captures your curiosity to find out more. Within the book also contains an important life lesson, teaching us that everything happens for a reason. We often have difficulty overcoming the hardships in life, death, illness, financial struggles. But nevertheless, these all balance out in the end, like your wedding day, landing your dream job, or even your graduation. A valuable reminder for us teenagers. For all these reasons, this is why Philemon Reads must read this book, with the book itself being a mesmerizing time portal. Similarly to Jake, you're also being presented with the opportunity to change your life and choose to read 11/22/63.
Yep. Hi, my name is Marina Blackburn, and I read The Perks of Being a Wallflower. At 3:30, your mom is coming to pick you up so you can sit for 15 minutes getting your eyebrows waxed. Oh, but don't forget to get those new shoes that are on sale for $120, because those girls have them too. Oh, and don't forget to trim your hair because you know Craig does not like those split ends. What is the point to all this? To fit in? The Perks of Being a Wallflower teaches us what it means to be ourselves. We all want to fit in some way or another, or at least the most of us do. And as a typical high school cliche, we definitely don't want to be an outsider. Charlie, the main character of this book, is often considered an outsider and is called a freak by others. But by finding friends like Sam and Pat who accept him for him, including all his strangeness, he realized that being himself really isn't so bad. And I think that's what makes this book so great. It shows us that it's okay to be a little strange sometimes. That so what? You are that kid in the corner eating crayons. But for your sake, if you are that kid, I do strongly suggest you talk to a doctor. As typical as this will sound, by reading this book, it really does change your life. Because I'm sure we've all felt like some sort of outsider at some point in our lives. Maybe because you're a new student in high school, or maybe just straight up didn't know who you were. But either way, you can relate to it, which I think in reading any book is important. I mean, why would you read a book that'll just sit on your shelf collecting dust when you're finished reading it? You probably want a book that when you're done, it'll have an impact on you. It'll no longer seem like a book, but more like a guide. Like The Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's a reminder that when you're feeling the pressure to fit in, it's okay to stand out. That truly is okay to be a wallflower.
Hi, my name's Hayley Mulcahy, and I read the book Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. We've all seen someone in a wheelchair before, and we all probably looked a little bit longer and wondered what happened. But then, every so often, you have those people that will apologize or feel sorry for them. If you're someone that has done any of those things, then you're a fool. Imagine having this huge, adventurous life, spending your day climbing mountains, going skydiving, living the dream. But then, all of a sudden, you're sitting in a wheelchair due to an accident that was out of your control. At 35 years old, you're contemplating whether you want to stay alive or die. After all of this happening, would you still want people confronting and staring at you? Imagine how that makes you feel. In my book, Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, the main character Will went through that. Everywhere he went, people would stare. Will got so sick of it that he shut down and would just stay home. The author did a really good job at expressing his feelings throughout the story, and that's something great about my book. It really makes you question yourself, and it changes the way you look at people. Why do we treat them so differently? They are still human. We need to treat everyone with equality, no matter their circumstances. Due to Will's circumstances, his mother hired this amazing caregiver. She, Louisa, found out about him wanting to die and basically had 6 months to convince him otherwise. Even though it was a rough start, they grew a love for each other that was undeniable. She got him to go on these amazing adventures that made him feel happy again. The adventures not only take Will on a ride full of emotions, but it brings the reader along for one hell of a ride. My book is a roller coaster full of funny, sad, and heartwarming moments. My book also teaches you a lot about handicapped people and what their everyday routine consists of. With that being said, after 6 months of Will's new life, it's time for him to make a decision if he wants to stay alive or die. However, that's up to you to find out, but only if you vote for my book.
Hi, I'm David, and I read City of Thieves. If someone told you you had to go get a dozen eggs, you wouldn't think that's much of a big deal. But now put yourself in Lev Benyov's shoes. Lev's this awkward 17-year-old kid, except he's growing up in Russia, 1945, and during the siege of Leningrad. Lev survives off of 2 pieces of bread per day and a quarter of a small onion. Lev is starving to death. So for Lev, 12 eggs are a luxury beyond compare. They're worth more than gold, and Lev literally hasn't seen eggs for over 6 months. So when one day Lev is arrested by the head of the NKVD, Russia's secret police, and told you have 10 days to find a dozen eggs or I'm going to shoot you, it's a bit of a challenge. City of Thieves is an utterly incredible story. Not only is it filled with exciting ventures, facing cannibals, fighting Nazi SS officers with the help of Russian resistance fighters, but the true jewels of the story are the characters themselves. Lev is a character that is so relatable. It's really unlike any other book I've read, and although it's a piece of fiction, it's the most honest story I've ever read. City of Thieves is a story that teaches us how to deal with our problems. We've all had trouble before. We've all had family trouble, we've all had friends trouble. But City of Thieves is really a story which teaches you how to deal with that. Because City of Thieves is a story which comprises of 2 moments. There's moments where you go, this is incredible, this is crazy, I don't understand it, I can really relate to this. City of Thieves is an utterly incredible story, and I've read a lot of books in my lives, and I really think this is the one that Philemon Reads should read. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jessie, and I read Hateless by Jennifer Brown. I hate cheese. I hate subdivisions. I absolutely hate mullets. I could go on and on writing a list of all the things I hate. People, too. Donald Trump, sometimes my boyfriend, occasionally my mom and my teachers. I don't really mean it. I don't actually hate these people, right? This hate list isn't real. But in the novel Hateless by Jennifer Brown, it suddenly is. Valerie Leffman made a list of all the people she hated with her boyfriend Nick, but it was just a joke. At least, it was to her. Because when Nick opens fire on the school cafeteria, targeting people on the hate list before killing himself, Valerie is left heartbroken, shocked, and confused. Now, after a summer of seclusion, Val must return to the haunted halls of Garvin High, full of people who believe her a murderer and grieving the loss of the boyfriend who shattered her life. Guilt, pain, love, hate, forgiveness. Hateless is an emotional roller coaster that I think every student at Philemon should get on. School shootings are not just bad dreams or faraway horror stories. They are a harsh reality that this book tackles without reservations or hesitation. Valerie's struggle to forgive herself, Nick, and her classmates will make you question everything you thought you knew about guilt and forgiveness. Reading this novel will open up your mind how it feels to love someone who caused so much pain, how to cope with the tragedy that you are being blamed for when you are hurting just as much as them. Thought-provoking, riveting, and moving, Hateless is a story every high school student should read to understand the consequences of their actions and how they can change someone, how they can incite hate. And Tennessee Williams said, "I think that hate is a feeling that can only exist where there is no understanding." Read this novel, Philemon, and you will understand.
Hi, my name's Hayley, Ottawa, and my book is The Great Gatsby. The characters in my novel will without a doubt make you dislike them. Most of them have horrible personalities, but despite this, they all come together to form a work of art. Now I know that sounds cheesy and you could roll your eyes and ignore me if you want, and I'll completely understand. but I really mean it when I say that you will not regret reading The Great Gatsby. The setting takes place in 1920s New York during the Prohibition. So the law was, you couldn't buy alcohol, you couldn't sell alcohol, and in case you're wondering, the answer is no. No, you can't make it either. But this didn't limit people from drinking alcohol. It was on a, if you had alcohol, drink it basis. And Gatsby had plenty. So this became one of his many reasons to throw his legendary parties. The story is told through the point of view of our narrator, Nick Carraway. You learn about his experiences of living in New York and the relationships he makes with characters such as Tom, Daisy, and Gatsby, and the misfortunes that they all face. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald is a must-read for Philemon students because it teaches us about the power of determination, the importance of appreciating what you already have, and the possibility of starting over no matter where you are in your life. The novel also reminds us that money can't buy happiness. Take Gatsby, for example. He was rich, he was handsome, and he had a big house and threw the best parties, but he was still miserable because what he truly wanted was not something that could be bought. The book would be good for Philemon students to read because it is a quick read that everyone 12 and up can enjoy and take some valuable lessons from. Thank you.